baba urusirele monghadi mesia baba selamo yo halalela.
Shalom Mashpaka. Welcome to another episode of your own program, Morning Tonic in the Word. And today, as the first episode, we'll be taking 4 chapters of the scriptures in a day. Starting from the book of Bere'shiyth, that's Genesis chapter 1, it goes, "In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the waters, the face of the waters. And Elohim said, Let there be light, and there was light." 4. And Elohim saw the light, and it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the morning and the evening and the morning were the first day. Take note of each word we are reading. It said that the first thing that came first was darkness. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And when he counted the day, look at this particular verse 5. He said, "The evening and the morning was the first day," which means he counted time from the evening then to the so-called morning or the day. Let's keep reading and see. Maybe truly that's the way you continue working on that. Verse 6. And Elohim said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And Elohim made the expanse and divided the waters which were upon the expanse from the waters which are above the expanse. And it was so. And Elohim called the expanse heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. The evening and the morning again. 9. And Elohim said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and herbs yielding seed, and the fruit trees yielding fruit after its kind, and whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herbs yielding seed after its kind, and the trees yielding fruit, whose fruit was in itself, and after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And this part we just read now, if you observe, the Most High Elohim separated the waters on the earth, right, and make the dry land come forth, and he called the dry land earth. This is enough to prove everyone wrong, most especially the scientific world, who believe in that there is something they call 9 planets. Yahweh only created the heavens and the earth. Every other thing actually are false. That is why, if you observe, they keep coming up with different kind of lies. Then that some people went to the outer space. This is Mercury. They have forgotten that we also have people in Israel who are into the movie and the videographic world. There's something we call chroma, which they popularly call green screen. Most of the videos you watch of NASA saying they are going to the space, they are all being shot in a room using that green screen, editing it and removing that green screen off their back to lay what they want you to believe at their back. Because I remember that there's a particular time I watched a particular video of NASA claiming that they were in the space. And according to their stupid science, they keep saying that once you're in the space, your weight will be divided by 6, which means if you are 36 kilogram, once you get to the space, your weight will come down to divided by 6, that's 6 kilogram. And that's why you see them bouncing and bouncing and bouncing in the space. But in this particular footage that I watched of NASA, I saw it that while they were recording, a fly flew past the camera. Now, here's my question. If truly they have lost their weight, how was a fly able to fly in front of a camera within less than nanosecond? Why can't the fly also start bouncing and bouncing and bouncing? The scriptures will expose all things. Let's shoot verse 14 right now. And Elohim said, let there be light in the expanse of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for appointed feasts and for days and for years, and let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Elohim made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and Elohim set them in the expanse of the heaven to give light upon the earth, not upon the planets, upon the earth, and to rule over the day and to rule over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. Now, what point I'm actually going to bring out from this part we just read is going into the aspect of the 2 great lights that shall be for a sign of appointed feasts, for days and for years. The white man have deceived us a long time ago, saying that yes, they will go by the Gregorian calendar. Now, here's the question. The scripture proved to us that the lights actually are meant to be a light for us in the seasons. It said that they will be for what? For seasons. Now let us go further on a proof on the moon, that the other light, as a sign of days and years. Now go to the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 43. We'll take from verse 6, and it says, he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is a sign of feast. It never said from the sun, because we have some people now who are with the mentality, or should I say, the confusion belief of saying that we can only know days and feast through the sun. No one can behold the sun with their eyes and won't go blind. That's why Yahweh gave us the moon, a light that is lesser, that we can see with our eyes to know things. It says, from the moon is the sign of feast, not from the sun. A light that decreases or that decreases in our perfection. The month is called after a name, increasing wonderfully in our changing, being an instrument of the harmonies above, shining in the firmament of heavens. That's to prove to you that the moon actually is decreased in our perfection before the month is called after a name. So for those who are following the doctrine or the belief of the full moon as a new moon, according to the scriptures, you are wrong. Let's go on a short commercial break. As we'll be right back. Please don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number: +234 811 731 0928.
Welcome from that short commercial break. So let's get back to the word. We are still in the book of Bere'shiyth, Genesis, chapter 1, and we are actually at verse 20 now. And Elohim said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life, and fowls that may fly above the earth and in the open expanse of heaven. And every creature and Elohim, 21. And Elohim created great dragons and every living creatures that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the sea, and let the fowls multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Still the evening and the morning, to prove that times actually are not starting from 12 midnight like they gave to us by the white man. Neither is the real time or the real date or the month. Neither are they starting actually with what are giving you in the calendar. We look at the moon to know the day and know the month that we are in. Let's press on. Verse 24. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kinds, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image. Take note of some things. It is the same day that Yahweh created these animals of that creeps on the earth and that walks as well on the earth. So the same day as well that this actually happened. 26. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let him have dominion over the fishes of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Observe that this particular part, he never mentioned to have dominion over the beasts. We are still coming there. Verse 27. So Elohim created man in his own image, and in the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. This is a proof to you that they told us, the Christian church, that Yahweh created only Adam. It is actually lies. Yahweh created male and female, created he them at first. Let's keep reading. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, watch, and over the fowls of the air, listen, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every trees in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seeds. To you it shall be for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowls of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for food. And it is so. This part, verse 40, is proving that the herbs, they are actually given to all, both the fowls of the air, the beasts of the earth, and even the things in the sea. In case you don't know, that is why we observe sometimes, those of you actually living in Africa to be precise, you should observe sometime whereby you will see your animals like your dog or your chicken trying to eat some grass or eat some kind of leaf. They are not just eating the leaf for eating sake. Those animals actually, they are trying to fall sick. They can sense sickness in themselves. So they go eat those grasses that we call grass, but it's actually hard to them. They eat actually to get themselves back together and to be healed. There is no mistake and there's nothing new under the heavens. Let's keep pressing on. And Elohim saw that everything he made, and behold, it was good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. If you observe, it keeps saying the evening and the morning, the evening and the morning, the evening and the morning. Now, this verse we read earlier now, lastly, talked about how Yahweh created, male and female created Eden to have dominions over everything, but never mentioned the beast. Now, let us give a precept on who actually are those beasts. Before we go there, I think we prefer to take chapter 2 so you can get the full understanding of this particular beast. And also, as well, talking about arrangement of time, you will observe that it keeps mentioning the morning, the evening, and the morning. The evening and the morning. Let us get a precept to explain the arrangement of time to see if truly what Yahweh said is true. Let us confirm that. This is the book of Psalms 55. Psalms 55, that's Tehillim chapter 55, verse 17. And it says, evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. King David is giving us the arrangement of time. The evening, next is the morning, and the next is the noon. After the noon is coming another evening. So this is enough to prove to you all that the arrangement of time is not 12 midnight at the beginning of the day, but actually the evening, your sundown, is the beginning of another day. Once the sun actually is still out there, another day, that day you are in is about to expire. Once that sun goes down, that day you are in has gone down. Once it is finally sundown, a new day actually is starting up immediately. So let us get back to scriptures. Go to chapter 2. Bere'shiyth chapter 2. Let's take from verse 1. And thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. I'll tell you that Yahuwah himself, the Elohim, as the superior above all, he still had a day which he rested. He hallowed that day, sanctified it, and gave it to us. Because you know that in this world, if we walk around the clock, one day is either we fall down and die when we don't rest. So he created a day of rest for us, all his own people. Let's keep pushing. Verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, and in the day that Yahuwah Elohim made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. Remember, Yahuwah Elohika has created male and female created he them, but yet he said there was not a man to till the ground. This is because the male and female created he them that he had before, he only blessed them and let them go. They are just wandering upon the earth like jobless humans. They are living their life the way they want, because he have said they should go and replenish the earth and multiply. Let's push further. Verse 6. And there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the earth. 7. And Yahuwah Elohim formed the man of the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. And Yahuwah planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Observe two things. In chapter 1, he said he created male and female created Eden just by the word of his mouth. But in chapter 2, he created this specific man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostril the breath of life. After he did this, he never sent this man to go and join the male and female created Eden. But he set apart and planted a garden in Eden and kept this man there. Why do you think he left this man there? Because now he saw that the ones he created first are nothing but useless things, useless set of objects that he created, and they refused to at least pick up a responsibility. That's why he had to create another special man out of the dust of the ground, from where he also as well cut out a garden called the Garden of Eden and place this man there. Remember, a garden can never have a red sand. I repeat, a garden can never have red sand. A garden have a black soil. Garden has a black soil. And since Yahuwah created this man out of the dust of the ground from the same garden was, guess what color that man could be? So that man actually has no other color actually, but is a dark-skinned man. Because the color of the soil in the garden actually is not red. That is actually what we can see like the normal road. It's actually to get a good soil in a garden. The color of the soil actually is always dark, black, like the so-called loamy soil. So let us push further. We are now in verse 9. And out of the ground made Yahuwah Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, and the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Verse 10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence was it parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Peshon. That is it, which compassed the whole land of Havilah, which where there is gold. Wow. The next one actually, verse 12. The gold of that land is good, and there is bellium and onyx-stone. And the name of the second river is Gishon, which the same is it that compass the whole land of Cush, which they call Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Shidekel. That is it which goes towards the east of Ashur. And the fourth river is Perat. Observe, if you look at the names of these rivers, where they actually surround, you observe that their names of those locations actually are right here in the motherland. They are right here in the motherland. But the reason why we can't be able to trace back the Garden of Eden is because of one thing. We'll soon get there to see the reason why the Garden of Eden actually became an unknown place to humans, but still yet the locations where this water actually came from are still in existence, but yet they are unable to backtrack to trace those waters back to find where the source is coming from. Verse 15, and Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and gird it. That was the first instruction Yah gave Adam. Remember that the first male and female created Eden that he had, he never gave them a work to do. But when he gave Adam an instruction on what he's meant to do. Let's keep pushing. But of the tree, let's go back. And Elohim, verse 16, and Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may eat, you may freely eat. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die. Verse 18, and Yahuwah Elohim said, it is not good for that man, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Now remember that we already had male and female created Eden. Yet he said he don't want a man to be alone. Now here's the question. Why do you think Yahuwah never chose to go and pick a woman for Adam from the male and female created Eden? Why did Yahuwah chose to say, let us make him a helpmeet? It is simply because Yahuwah never wants his chosen ones to get mixed up with the other nations. Let us keep reading. Verse 19. And out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was the name thereof. 20. And the man gave names to all the cattle, and to all the fowls of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for the man there was not found a helpmeet for him. 21. And Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from the man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And the man said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. She was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man cleave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his woman, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his woman, and were not ashamed. Now, I wanted to observe some passages actually in this latter part. It said first that this is the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Now, that is why I do tell people, getting married actually doesn't mean that you should just pick any kind of woman. You need to pick the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh, which goes into you picking the woman that Yahweh actually have destined for you. Why am I actually saying that? In the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, let us see something about this so-called marriage of getting a wife or getting a husband. Sirach 26, I'll take verse 1 down to verse 3, and I'll jump down to verse 25. It says, blessed is the man that has a virtuous woman, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoices a man, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. Verse 3. A good woman is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear Yahuwah. Which means those men that fear Yahuwah, the bone of their bone are meant to be a virtuous woman. Let us check the opposite of it. For those who actually are wicked and not in the will of Yahuwah, let us see their own bone of their bone. Sirach 26:25, and it says, Sirach 26 verse 23, pardon me. It says, is it 26? Yes, 23. And it says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that fears Yahuwah. Which means the bone of your bone as a wicked man can never be a righteous woman. If you are very deceitful, if you are thinking that you can do things out of the way of Yahuwah, you are wicked. Yahuwah will never look at you and say that because he said you are following, because you said, you can say things with your mouth, but Yahuwah checks the heart if truly you are diligent and obedient to him. So if Yahuwah can search your heart and see that you are wicked, he will never give you a righteous one, because you end up ruining that woman. Instead, the bone of your bone that is prepared for you actually is a wicked woman that will send you to your early grave. So the question is, you as a brother, do you want to get a bone of your bone that will be a woman that will make you live your life in peace? Or you want to be that brother that will be wicked, and Yahweh will give you the bone of your bone, which will be a woman that will lead you to an early grave? That's that for that. Let's push for that. Now we are going to Bere'shiyth chapter 3. And it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah hath made. And he said unto the woman, yea, as Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Now, please mark this point. He was talking about the serpent that was more subtle than any beast of the field. Don't make mistakes. They made us believe in Christianity that the serpent there is actually snake. It is not a literal snake by animal. That was why he said something there.
You are Yahweh. 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 Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. Alpha, Omega. You are Yahweh.
For sponsorship and advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928.
So, if Yahuwah can use this kind of wisdom, connecting that the serpent as a beast, it's not meaning that actually it is a literal serpent. Remember that even right here on earth, sometimes they accredit people's behavior connecting to the kind of animal that behaves like that. What is in the Bible itself says, be crafty as a serpent, but be meek as a dove. It doesn't mean that you are actually a literal serpent or you are literally a dove. Talking about in behavior. So in this particular chapter, The serpent is talking about, which is actually one of the beasts of the field, is talking about the other nations. According to the book of Ecclesiastes, which we read earlier, chapter 3, verse 13, talking about the estate of the sons of men, which they are counted, and they themselves know that they are beasts. These beasts actually is what it's talking about, not that a literal serpent came to speak to Eve. Let's press further. Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, you shall not eat, neither shall ye touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. For Elohim knows that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as Elohim, the small letter E, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw the tree that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant in the eyes, it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, and she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave unto the man with her, and he did eat. Now I wanted to connect something actually in this verse 6. It said that, and when the woman saw the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. We observe that it was when the woman saw it, which means sometimes whatever you have in your head, the picture you have in your head, that's what you have in your mind actually, is what it will end up becoming. If you are that person that believes in your mind that I can't keep all the commandments, automatically as you have think in your mind, that is how it's going to be for you, because you have limited your mind to that thing. But if you're that person that are like, no matter how much the law can be, I will ensure I keep all the laws. Once you have seen that in your mind, get it right, you are going to do it. The woman, right from the first day that Adam had been in that garden, he have seen that tree as the tree that he has said we should never touch, that if we touch it, it will make us die. But the first day the serpent came to lie to the woman, that beast of other nations came to lie to the woman, she has saw it as that beast has told her. That is why today our people are seeing religion like it is the way of salvation, like the beast gave us the religion. That is why today, even in Christianity, some people think that they can try to add to the word of Yahuwah because of what they learned in Christianity, that they believe was to be what is meant to be. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Whatever you have assumed in your mind is what's going to end up becoming. Anybody that pick this kind of white paper, for example, if you have it in your mind that this paper actually is black, before you know it, the paper actually might turn black in your eyes. Why? Because that is what you have choose to believe. Let's press further. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves apron. 8. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his woman hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree whereof I commanded you that you should not eat? Verse 12. And the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, and she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the woman, what is it that you have done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahuwah Elohim said unto the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed among all cattle and among every beast of the field. Upon your belly shall you go, and dust shall you eat of all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, and it shall be bruised, and it shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Now, majority actually might not understand this part. They might think it's a literal snake upon your belly and blah 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 blah. Now, let me take you back to track. Remember that these other nations, who are now the crafty ones that we have now, during the days of their own ancient forefathers, they were all cavemen. They live in the cave, they feed on the hunt, they go hunt, like they feed almost on the dust of the ground. And where in the scripture here said that you shall be an enemy to his children, also as well is happening too. That is why, in case you don't know, they imitated the movie called Werewolves, saying that at a particular time, when the moon actually is full, that these werewolves can't walk out, otherwise they become victimized. It's actually going back to what is actually happening way back. Once we have the full moon, Yasharel as a nation have known that yes, we are about to enter into the new moon, in which back in the days, our forefathers do celebrate the new moon, whereby they might go into the forest to go and hunt for venison. And while they go there to go and hunt, any so-called hidden that they find out there, once they overcome and overpower that hidden, they have the right to take that hidden as slaves. But they try to change things around. But remember, if they are trying to take those hidden as slaves, they won't want to get themselves freely. Automatically, they will do their best to try to fight whoever is coming to attack them. That is how they bruise our heel, and we bruise their head by taking them as slaves if we overcome them. So don't get it twisted. I think maybe it's a literal snake that comes. No. The Most High here have always spoken in parable. It only takes the wise to decode the parable is giving out. Let's push further. 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In sorrow you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be to your man, and he shall rule over you. And unto Adam he said, because you have hearkened unto the voice of your woman, and have eaten of the tree, and of which I command you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cause is the ground for your sake. In sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thorns also shall it bring forth to you, and you shall eat the herbs of the field. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return unto the ground. For out of it were you taken, and for dust you are, and unto dust shall you return. This actually is going back to explanation. Why do you think Yahuwah cursed the woman, saying that in pain will she conceive? He even said that her desire shall be of a man. Why? Because he have understand the fact that she has a way of deceiving the man to do what they want to do. So he make the man to become superior over the woman, so that our own kind of corny ways will not make the man go into sin again. But why is it that when it comes to the man, he never cursed the man directly? He said, I cursed the ground on my behalf. That is why today men go through serious pain. We go to work, we work back to back, we pay bills upon bills upon bills just to fix what the family might need. It's because we cursed it, Now that Yahweh have said that will be the superior over the woman, it's not maybe the woman actually is meant to be at home to become a liability, to be a full housewife. She's also meant to go there to go and work. She's meant to support the man. But you as the man must take larger share of the responsibility. So that's the way it is. Let's press on. And Adam called his woman's name Shua, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also, to his woman, did Yahweh make coats of skin and clothe them. And Yahweh Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one to us, to know good and evil. And now let he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore Yahweh Elohim sent him forth from the garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man and he placed at the east of the garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword, which turned every way to guard the way of the tree of life. Now here is it. Why do you think Yahuwah said earlier to those he have with him that this man has become like one of us? We will leave him to keep it, to go ahead. If he can do this, definitely he can one day as well find the tree of life and eat it and live forever. After this, Yahuwah still sent man to go to that same garden to go and walk. To tell you that sometimes, most times, Yahuwah is extremely wise. He never allowed Adam to know what is actually his next plan. He even sent him an errand. Go to that garden and go and till that garden for me. Adam went there to go and till the garden. But after he was done with it, then Yahuwah drove him out. That is why sometimes I tell people who are in the truth. Don't think that because you have allowed pride taking over you, now you are so prideful that you think, yes, you've arrived, you can do all things. Even when your fellow brethren give you a particular vision that they saw about your downfall, you be like, no, I got the most I got in me. I can't, blah, blah, blah. Devil can't come. I'm like, it shows how prideful you are. But Yahweh actually, he has let his ruach leave you a long time ago. From the first day you allow pride to set in. You are only walking right now just like the smoky aspect of his ruach. The time will come when that smoke of his ruach will disappear completely. And the demons actually will come back and say that you are empty. Then that demons will now go back into the wilderness and bring back 7 more demons, wicked more than themselves. They will now make yourself, they will make your body, they will make your heart become a duplex for them to live. I pray that Yahuwah have mercy on our people so that we can be able to understand his word. Let's press further. Now we are in Genesis chapter 4, the last chapter for today. And Adam knew Sheol, his wife, his woman, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahuwah. And she bore his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahuwah. And Abel, he also brought the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And Yahuwah had respect unto Abel and unto his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, why are you wroth? And why is your countenance fallen? If you do well, shall you not be accepted? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door, and unto you shall be his desire, and you shall rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. Can you see that? Now, if I will look at this particular spot, we all know that Yahuwah Elohika cannot leave the heavens to come down here on earth to come and eat the harvest of the field like fruits. Yahuwah actually respected the sacrifice of Abel because he came with the firstling, the first lamb which he had that year. He gave Yahuwah the best sacrifice. That's why he told Cain, he said, if you had done better, which also be accepted. It's a thing whereby if Cain was walking in love, Cain can choose to take the fruits he has, go to his brother Abel, and ask him, Abel, please give me this particular type of lamb for my own sacrifice too. I know I can't pay you, but take this firstling, take this first harvest of the field which I have as an exchange for this. But because he was rejected, the demon of envy took over took over Cain, and he lured his brother to the field and he killed his brother on the field. But the problem there is he thought what he has done, nobody actually saw him. We'll see what actually happened. Verse 9. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, where is Abel your brother? And where is Abel your brother? And he said, I know not. Am I to guard my brother? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries unto me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto you. As strength, a fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth. And Cain said unto Yahuwah, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from your face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that shall find me shall slay me. Now, if truly, according to what they taught us in Christianity, it was only Adam and Eve that were on earth, what was Yahweh's response supposed to be? Was not supposed to tell Cain that who wants to kill you? It's not only yourself, your father, and your mother. It would have been with your younger brother, but you have killed your younger brother. But guess what Yahweh actually said next? Verse 16. Verse 15. And Yahuwah said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahuwah set a mark upon Cain, lest any find him should kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of Yahuwah and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. Verse 17. And Cain knew his woman, and she conceived and bore Shanok. Now, here's my question. If it was to be in Christianity, are they trying to tell us now that Cain got married to his mother? Because if you are following the philosophy and theology of religion, we will say that after Cain killed his brother Abel, there is meant to be only Adam and his wife, Shua, which they call Eve. So the question is to prove to you that truly there were other people that Yah created, but they are just wandering upon the earth because they are not the chosen ones. Here it was written that Cain knew his woman, that Cain got his own wife, and his wife gave birth to him, and they called that child Shanok. So Cain now said that truly, when we don't study, we can't discover the truth. Let's press on. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Shanok. And unto Shanok was born Irad. And Irad begat Metuyael, and Metuyael begat Methuselah, and Methushael begatted Methushael begatted Methushael, which is we call Methuselah, and Methushael begatted Lamech, and Lamech took unto him 2 women, to prove to you that talking about multiple wives or polygamy, it started first from the descendants of Cain, who is actually cursed. Let's keep pressing on. And the name of one was Ada, and the name of the other was Sila. And Ada bore Javal, and he was the father of such as dwell in tent, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Juval, and he was the father of all such that handled the harp and flute. And Sila, she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Nama. And Lamech said unto his woman Ada and Sila, Hear my voice, ye woman of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 times 7, 70 and 7-fold. And Adam knew his woman again, and she bore a son, and they called his name Shet. For Elohim, she said, has appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slayed. And to Shet, to him also, there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. And then began men to call upon the name of Yahuwah. So can you now see that Cain being cursed, yet even his great grandson Lamech also as well went ahead to commit murder and was cursed. And he said, if Cain can be avenged 7 times, him himself will be avenged 70 and 7 times. To tell you that this wickedness and demonic wickedness has been coming right from since Cain, and all the seed actually are all wicked as well. Not until when Yahuwah gave Adam and his wife Shua a son called Shet, and they said that he has given us a son in replacement of Abel, which has been killed by his brother Cain. So with this, we make it a wrap for today's episode of the program. Leah's will, tomorrow we will continue with another 4 chapter, continue from where we stop. I remain your humble host, Daniel Pearson Lion Yasharala. With this, I say bye for now.
Oh,